Okay, I just got this really, really dumb idea to just start complaining about Payday 3. Not necessarily complaining, but I just got these dumb ideas that I thought I would write them down before I woke up and thought this was a bad idea. So this is almost midnight when I'm doing this. And I'm assuming the name of this video is going to be how to save Payday 3, or this is how Payday 3 should be saved. There's so much stuff to go into with this type of video, but I think I just start rambling and I'll get there. So, let's talk about some of this stuff, I guess, while I'm sitting here all alone and contemplating even just scrapping this as we speak. Where do I even start? I think we start with the most recent content, or not recent content, but the start of the DLC drop. Because let's just leave the beginning of Payday 3 out. Let's just say they fixed the server. The servers were bad launch. They fixed it, and they did that. Now that they fixed these servers, this is where they really get in the nitty gritty of the game, and where they should be focusing on the most is how to make this a better game and how to focus on it. So let's go into that. Let's go into syntax error. I don't have a problem with it, but apparently a lot of people found it to be bland, as well as overpriced. The overpriced part I kind of agree with, and we'll get into that later. But syntax error kind of showed a little bit of what I don't even know what's going on. I honestly don't know the opinion on the DLC. I just know that a lot of people didn't like both of the DLC. And I thought syntax error wasn't bad. I was alright with it. It was something different when it first came out. It was something that wasn't any of the heists before it, so I was okay with it. But it was overpriced. I will say that. And so, let's move on a little bit forward with what I am aware of. With the Boys in Blue DLC, I think. I really, this is entirely unscripted. This is near midnight. This is going off base memory. I streamed it. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed the DLC weapons. I enjoyed all of it. But again, a lot of people thought it was way too quick. It was not really unique. It was something else. I thought it was alright. Again. But apparently a lot of people thought differently. And some of the memes that were apparently made, some people didn't like. Okay. That was probably bad anyway. But let's move on a little bit more forward here. It's probably where I'm probably the most familiar with, I should say. Within that time, we created within syntax error between Boys in Blue, we got Operation Medic Bag, which is where they are attempting to fix the game and all the issues that everybody's complaining about. And so within this time, around the Boys in Blue DLC, they finally decided to change the XP of the game, which thank God they did. It's so much better now. It even has weird bonuses like going loud only or stealth only, but for some reason there isn't a bonus for going midway. I feel like that would be kind of important, like very skillful, I would say. Is, managing to resourcefully deploy or release your hostages to escape without an assault. I feel like that should have been rewarded, but it's not for some reason in this game. It's very weird why you can't go in between when there is an option to go in between. There is unique masks that came out. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't think anybody was really interested in that. I just collected them because they seemed interesting to collect. So do this. They're trying to communicate with everybody. Apparently, at some point down the line recently, they stopped listening to people, specifically the people that they're sponsored with, which they clearly should have listened to more. Shoot, where was I even at? Me editing, looking this over later is gonna drive me nuts and even wonder why I even started talking. But, so, there's that. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, the masks, them trying to do their thing. Boys in Blue, another DLC that not a lot of people cared about, also thought was overpriced. So here we go further down the line. So they announced this thing where overpriced compensated, they realized that their prices were too big, so they're going to release this content that they were going to release anyway into the in-game store for credits. Why say that? I don't get it. But instead of getting it for credits, you're going to get it as a reward for pre-ordering the game and or buying the DLC before it was overpriced, or yeah, when it was overpriced. You're going to get all these items. However, I didn't have this issue, but apparently, according to a bunch of people, they're not getting the compensation after they stated the compensation was going to be given. So that's funny. I don't know how they've managed to screw that one up. I noticed in the patch notes that console players were supposed to get it, but they were supposed to redeem them in the store, which is a weird way of doing that. But oh well, right. But I don't know how they. I don't know how you screw up giving a bunch of items to people that deserve them, I guess, is what you would say. But they screwed that up. So now, I don't know when they're going to be able to fix that, but they haven't stated anything on that. And into the most recent controversy, the mask event, which is something I'm really up to date with. Apparently, I played during that event to try and help out. I played quick play. I just bounced into whatever game I had and played it through, tried to beat it with a bunch of people, and apparently that wasn't enough. Apparently the goal was 100 billion on each heist, which, first of all, was way overshot. Don't know why they aimed so high for that, but it was really unbelievable. One, and two, they suspected the entire community to apparently pick sides of these heists and play them through until they got their mask, and then move on to the next, and move on to the next. It failed miserably. People did not select heists individually and grind them out. It was more of a, essentially what I did from my knowledge, that and or there wasn't enough players to even get that far. Not enough active players to even play the game, which is probably what they were looking for, was people to try and pull more people in so that they could get these events. But they didn't realize that that wasn't exactly at all what was going to happen. Essentially, we only got one mask. It was the shark mask for doing No Rest for the Wicked and the Golden Shark heist, while everywhere else got close. And apparently there was double money at some point for solo mode. Why? Why only solo mode? Why not give everybody double money? I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Just let everybody earn as much money as possible. That would definitely get more people to play the game during the event, but they didn't. But yeah, no, that failed miserably. I noticed that they said they were going to release the mask way later, when they introduced the Extreme Challenge, whenever they dropped that. But apparently a lot of people assumed that after the event was over that they were going to release the mask, which I can clearly say is not true. I remember reading somewhere that it was required that, or not required, but they plan to release it with the challenges with all the other masks. Let's hope they don't screw up the challenge system, because we all know the first challenge system they made was so great. But, so yeah, so here we are. It is 9 minutes into this recording, the yapping on, about all of their screw-ups. Oh, and they played on nerfing things as well. A lot of people didn't like the nerfing, which is really weird, and I'll get into that in a second as well. So, give me 1 second to take a breather. I've been yabbering here. Okay, so, after all of that mess, after trying to compensate for the overpriced DLC, trying to create an event for a bunch of people to play through, when there clearly wasn't enough people and the bar was set way too high, and they overestimated the community's plans to try and do this. What point can they just fix this? Is it possible to fix this? And a lot of people don't think it is. A lot of people think it's over. It's almost been a year of development, and there really hasn't been an upside to anything, regardless of how much they try, which is really scary to think, because if they don't feel like they can bring this back after a year, chances are it's going to kill development, which is bad after the next 2 DLC. But here's what I think they should really do. And it's a lot of community focus rather than game focus. And I'll explain what I mean right now, actually, after I keep saying in a second. So here's how you're supposed to do an event. Here's what you're gonna do if you do another event. The double money event was fine. But if you want a community collaborative event thing, here's what you're going to do next, instead of what you did here. Because your goal was to try and get people to play Heist, and didn't expect them to be burnt out of said Heist so quickly. And here's the reason. It's because you put the bar way too high. What you're going to do next time is you're going to put the bar lower, so it doesn't even matter how low. It just needs to be achievable. It doesn't matter if it's achieved in 1 day, 2 days, or even within an hour. If the community can get together and achieve that goal, it'll do something. It'll do something that was not nothing. And I kind of hope that this last community event wasn't a reason to bring these new challenges along, so that we had to do these challenges to get these masks, because that's not going to make people happy. No one cares for the challenges. And so you make it possible for the community, you make the reward reasonable, and then you'll have a successful event, rather than what in the world you attempted. Don't even predict what people are going to do. Just throw it out there, let it happen. There you go. As for the compensation problem, I don't know how you screwed that up, but people are not getting the items that they need. You need to fix that. I know people are on holiday right now, which is something I forgot to mention, but it needs to be fixed so that people get the stuff that they were promised, and then people won't be angry, obviously. And don't do this again. Do not give... I mean, yes, obviously there should be compensation for something that you overpaid for, but you clearly, if you can't get it right, then you can't do it at all. So, simply don't overprice your stuff, and don't have this problem where you're promising players stuff and then not giving them the said promised stuff. Same goes for the mask. It's not deliberately told you should have given them away, but it's had a lot of confusion. So, not good. Don't do that. Okay, and here's where the big thing comes in. Okay, I'm not even focused on the heists. They need to make interesting heists, but they probably already planned them out and even started development on the other 2 DLC, which they clearly should, pursue those, finish those thoughts out, and then kind of like open a whole new scrapbook for what people want in their heists as to what we've gotten now. But here's the big thing. They want this game to be a tactical heist shooter, which it really shouldn't be. That was not what Payday 2 was. Payday 2 was a bunch of fun because of the ridiculous stuff that you could do in the game. And quite honestly, I really, really think they need to go back and just stop worrying about balance. At least for a little bit. Unless something is super overpowered and really broken and just doesn't work. I really think that they should just start adding fun perk decks, or like skills, or stuff that is just ridiculous, because why not, right? The game's supposed to be fun. Make the game fun. Don't make this whole tactical shooter nonsense. People have already started making some interesting things, like a grenade build I saw that was like impact nade that killed everything around and replenished. It was interesting. I liked it. I want more of that. Give me more of that crazy stuff. Give me crazy weapons. Give me something. Give us interesting content. Do not beat around the bush with this stuff. Make it interesting. Make it fun. Make it unbalanced. Worry about the balance second. We do not need our perk decks and skills, or whatever you call them in this game, to be dumbed down to the point where it's you gotta make it more reasonable, I guess, or something, or make it less fun. of course within reason. You don't want to have wall hacks and aimbot and all that type of crazy stuff. But just make stuff fun. Don't be afraid to do ridiculous things again. And I think that's where a lot of people are right now, is that the game's not fun. The game has a very specific idea of how you're supposed to play the game, and it really shouldn't be that way. It is a... how do I say that? It is not... It's a build-based game. How about that? We'll call it that. Where you make a build, you have fun with that build, you continue to use that build, or you change your build, or you make it to however you want to play the build. And this game isn't really that. It's, here's Sentry Gun. You can have a Sentry Gun build, you can be a medic, or you can be an armor bag guy. They all pretty much do the same thing, except one specializes in one thing or the other. But you're pretty much doing the same thing. We don't have people running around like maniacs with low health and high risk, high reward anymore. We just have people in the back shooting things and defending the area, I guess. I don't really know. But yeah, okay. I paused to send some messages, and I completely forgot where I was. Make overpowered fun stuff. Give me minigun back, for example. Give me minigun, actually. Yeah, it's a great idea. Make it really slow, but make it... just give me a minigun. Make me really slow. I don't care. I think it would be hilarious. It would be fun. But stuff like that is great. But anyways, I'm rambling on that topic. So, on to the other one as well, which is... I should probably mention now that I think of it. Listen to your community. I'm dead serious. Listen to your community. You're not going to have a community if you don't listen to them. They will eventually just move on to the next thing. And you have developers at Deep Rock listening to people. You have X Defiant listening to people. You have, I guess Sledgehammer is even doing a great job right now in COD. Apparently, they're absolutely killing it right now. But like with your small community, you need to focus on the small community. If you make this small community happy, they're gonna bring more people along. And that's just how it is. If they're enjoying the game, they're going to keep playing the game. And you're not doing that. And you're losing players. And that's what's going to kill the game. It's the fact that you're not making... You're trying to strive to get more players in the game rather than focusing on what you have now. Focus on what you have now. Make us, the players, happy. I'm pretty content. But I know a lot of other people are not. You make them happy. And then you'll start to grow again. It's not this big jump in players, not these big events, not these big sales. It's the tiny community that you have now that'll make the game better. It'll make the game bigger. It'll make the game funner. And I think that's the main thing, is that you should be paying attention to. But I'm just a little guy on the internet, talking almost midnight here. I will stop rambling. I don't know if I'm going to make this a video. If I do, let me know if you want me to talk about other topics when it's near midnight, and it's unscripted and my brain is not at full capacity, because that's the funnest time to start talking about any subject, when I'm not fully informed and I'm going off of what little knowledge I know about the subject. But I've clearly gone on long enough. Thank you all for watching. And again, if you want me to talk about something random, or something important, or something just off the wall, I don't know. I don't really know what. Just give me a subject, and I will talk about it near midnight after working a long shift. And we will just see what the video turns out to be, because this was something weird. And I'm not sure if I'll do it again, but it was a dumb idea, because I knew if I didn't talk about it now, I was going to wake up and I wasn't going to want to do it, because I thought it was stupid, and I thought I would need a script, and I wanted to get all my stuff nailed down before I said it. But when I start talking at midnight and don't care, this comes out. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. If I make this a video, I hope you enjoy it. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in whatever I make next. Bye-bye.